Hello! Greetings! Good evening! It's Monday night, Monday the 15th of February 2021. A very good evening to you and welcome to tonight's little chat show coming to you from Bracknell in Berkshire. I do hope you liked, at no expense spared, the brand new globe. How fantastic is that? Do you know how many years I've waited for one of those? I cannot possibly tell you how much that cost me. You will be shocked and horrified. Safe to say I've had to sell one of my properties. It's that expensive. I might tell you a bit later on, okay? I might tell you a little bit later on. I've waited for one of those for years and years. Anyway, a little bit more of that later on. A very good evening to you, gang. Let's say some people, a couple of people texting in already this morning. Thanks so much to Gary Ross. Gary Ross, have I got a story for you tonight? You will die laughing. I wasn't laughing. You will die laughing later on, okay, Gary? Evening, Gary Ross. Just emailing in there. There's an email address as well as the texting number up there. There's the email. There's the email. 1 minute. There we go. There's the email. Come on, up you come. There we go. There's the email address if you want to send an email in. Or you can text in, of course, the text in number there, top left-hand corner. If you're new to the show, welcome along. There is a chat box for you to talk to each other. I don't go into the chat box at all. So if you try and talk to me on there, I won't see it, okay? You need to either send a text or an email, or you'll be able to call in later when the phone line's open as well. All right, my darlings? I've just had a shave. Look at this. Look. This is Harry's razor. This is the original razor, okay? I haven't changed it yet. Good, isn't it? They've already sent a load of replacements, which I think there were eight what do you call them? Heads? You know, that you put on the handle. 8 5-blade heads that they've already sent me the replacements of, which should happen, I think, every 3 months. I think they send 8 replacements. But actually, I'm still on the original one, and you can see, look, no cuts or anything else like that. So they're good quality. I was just chatting to Adam the plumber a little bit earlier on, and he's now got a Harry's razor. And he said they're selling them now in Sainsbury's, which I didn't know. Whether or not they're the same price in there, I don't know. Anyone else who might have tried Harry's razors, which I was using the supermarket really cheap one, and they were absolutely dire. Have I got one here? Yeah, there's one here, isn't there? Look, one of these, right? Now I know they're single use, but even on the first use, they were cutting my face to bits, bleeding, and in fact, that can go in the bin there. I'm not even going to save it as an emergency. But the Gillette and the Wilkinson, nothing wrong with the products, fantastic products, but they're so blooming expensive, aren't they? I've seen razor replacements, either Gillette or Wilkinson, one of the two. Once I was in Sainsbury's last year sometime, or even the year before actually, and they were like 50 quid. What? 50 quid? Having a laugh, aren't you? But Harry's razors do seem to be a reasonable price there. Good evening to Rachel Wheatland, who enjoyed the Javelin TikTok video that I sent her earlier. You might see that on my Facebook wall if you want to. Don't laugh. Very bad. Don't laugh. I'm not even going to tell you. You'll have to have a look later on. It's on my Facebook wall, okay? Facebook.com/Chris Reardon UK. Hello to Mike in Brighton, who's loving the brand new globe. Would you like that to make another appearance now? Because there's a few people just joining us now. Let's have a look. Where are we? That's not on my button box because I don't need it on there. There it is. There it is. My new globe. There it is. Look at that, eh? Look at that, bitches. Isn't that fantastic? A clock. I've always wanted one of those globes. Always. You may, of course, remember, I know you will, Mike, but BBC One's logo used to be a globe. Not dissimilar to that, to be honest. And in actual fact, you can find a YouTube video on how that was created. And back in the 80s, that was some going. It required an awful lot of processing power, and they built this machine because it never existed. It's a computer-generated image. That globe, the single globe, never existed as a model. It was a computer image. And they spent tens of thousands on this thing. Tens of thousands creating this perfect globe. Not, as I say, dissimilar to that one. It cost me 15 quid. 15 quid that cost me. And I ordered it. I came across it by complete accident last night on a site called Fiverr, which generally is where I get all the graphics done. And for an amount of money, which is never extraordinary, extortionate. It's always a reasonable price. For varying different levels of money, you can get stuff done. It starts at $5. That cost me $17 altogether. Isn't that fantastic? And I've got 4 different versions. That's the one I choose to use. And they do lots of other different versions. You can have your logo put in the middle and all that. And he does other stuff as well. Fantastic. I'm so pleased with that. Always wanted one of those. A very good evening to Fran Green. Good evening, Fran. Diane Jebb. Evening, Fran. Hello to Jason Hughes. Maureen's there, who enjoyed the bingo last night. Excellent. Thank you for taking the time typing out all those numbers. That's all right, my darling. I'm just happy that you can play now. You know, I know Maureen used to play along to the bingo off her own back and she could never win because she wasn't playing the same tickets as everyone else. So it wasn't possible for her to win. Now she can. And I'm glad that. And she loves the new Globe as well. Worth every blooming penny, I tell you. Worth every penny. At the moment, talking of money, I'm getting some enormous bills coming in at the moment. I just had another one today, completely unexpected. Another one. As you know, I'm a landlord. We don't make a lot of money. Seriously, we don't. A lot of people are completely under the illusion that we've got like thousands and thousands of pounds coming in each month and no outgoings. And it's anything like that. Unless you're like a business with like, I don't know, 30, 40, 50 properties. It's not like that at all. Yes, I make a bit of money. It's nowhere near what you think. Seriously. It's nowhere near what you think. And at the end of last year... I got this email from the estate agent saying the government are always doing stuff like this. The electrical regulations have changed and now you have to have everything checked out or something. I can't remember exactly what it said, but it was something and it was every 5 years. And of course, here we are at the beginning of that period. So I've got X number of properties and they've all got to have this thing done. So they have to be looked at first and then they recommend any remedial work. Remedial work, if it doesn't come up to this standard, and then you've got 28 days to do it. So I've just had another one down there, right? New bleeding fuse box, 500 quid. Something else, 500 quid. Total cost £1,400. And it just goes on and on. These bloody bills keep dropping in. My savings have gone down, down, down like that. That's it. You know. It can't go on like that. I tell you, I shall have to dip into my pension fund here. And then what will I eat? Shocking state of affairs. But Gary Ross sent £5 the other night. And I did receive it, Gary, because I checked... well, it's the first thing I did, to be honest. When I got up, I checked to see if that £5 was there and that you weren't lying to me. There it was. Lit up, emblazoned, in blue. Gary Ross, £5 tip. Thank you, Gary. And we'll play the... where is it now? I will have to play the super chat jingle, which was, of course, unplayed last night because we can't really take super chats on a Sunday night. So here it is, darling. Here we go. Be honest, you just like hearing that, don't you? Is that the case? I'm sure it's the case that you just like hearing that. Thank you very much, Gary, OK? Once again, if you want to join in the show, send a text there at the top left-hand corner, 07551 259 675, or you can send an email to that address. All righty? Okie doke, gang. First of all, you saw the picture advertising the show tonight, OK, which was this. Would you eat that? OK, now, have you any idea what it's like? Or what it is even? Have you any idea what that actually is? Is it a haggis, maybe? Do you think that's a little bit of a haggis? Could it be a haggis or some sort of... I don't know. It looks like it's a thing in a plastic bag, doesn't it, eh? Would you eat that? This story was in the Metro a couple of days ago. And I'm afraid to tell you, that is what you are connected to when you're in mummy's tummy. That is a placenta. Yeah, I must admit, I've never seen one before, but that's what that is. That is a placenta. Okay? I mean, quite frankly, I think I'd rather be looking at my globe again, which incidentally I was watching for about half an hour before I started the show today. I put it on. I just sat there mesmerised by the globe turning round. Perhaps we should just leave it on all night long, the globe. Would you like that? Just leave it on all night long with a little bit of music playing? I wonder how many viewers that would get. That might make me a bit of money, that. Tens of thousands of people just watching this globe going round. Anyway, the placenta in the metro. I wouldn't eat something like that, would you? How could you eat a placenta? I know we were all eating it when we were in our mummies' tummies, but we're not in there now, are we? Eh? It says in the Metro, following the birth of her first baby, this lady brought home her placenta and turned it into a chili. While she thinks it helped her recover quicker, she admits that the meat was a little dry, so when she had her second child, she got more creative. Now, eating things, okay, but eating your own placenta, isn't that like cannibalism? Is it? Would you class that as cannibalism or something like that? Her baby came. She froze the placenta and then defrosted it a few days later to make a placenta burrito, complete with sour cream and shredded cheese. Is there anything unusual that you've ever eaten? Perhaps you've been abroad. Vietnam seems to be a place where we would consider that they're eating strange things. I'm sure it's not the only country. Things like tarantula spiders, scorpions, cats, dogs. Cover your little pet's ears if they are listening at the moment, my darlings. Anyway, this lady said, she's from Cambridgeshire. She said it was a great experience and she was excited to hear Danny Dyer is reportedly planning to consume hers too. I thought that was a bloke, Danny Dyer. Is that not a bloke? Danny posted a picture of capsules made from the organ when it's dried and ground up. When she was pregnant, Katrina, that's the lady's name, decided to avoid the process as she couldn't afford the cost. The mum instead researched how others had cooked and eaten their placenta and decided to do it that way. Both after the birth of her children, who was born on the 28th of April last year. She says, seeing people in the media having a positive approach to ingesting placenta will help spread the knowledge about how good it is. I read a lot of research in placenta encapsulation, but couldn't afford it. So decided to research people who had eaten it instead. Would you eat something like that? Have you eaten anything unusual like that? Do let us know. Perhaps on the text, or you can call in. We'll open those lines now, okay? I say lines. Line. That's it. There's only one phone line, dear. 0208 144 3477. Have you ever tried anything unusual? Or maybe it's something usual that simply didn't agree with you, that other people would eat normally. I mean, she goes on. She said, I had a great recovery with my first baby, felt energised, and was doing everything I was doing before birth very quickly and felt good in myself. I didn't know whether I felt good because I'd eaten the placenta, so I made the decision to do it again after my second baby and I had the same experience. To make her burrito placenta, Katrina chopped up the organ and added it to the beef, slow cooking the mixture in a pot. Are you feeling sick yet? We don't want to make people feel sick on this show. We can't afford to have anyone run off to the toilet here. She then put it in a plain wrap and topped it with shredded cheese and sour cream. And that's it, really. I mean, it's not for me. I mean, really, it just isn't for me. But is that something that you might like to try? Eating a placenta? 0208 144 3477. Or is there something else you've tried before that you didn't like? Fran says Danny's daughter is also called Danny. Oh, is that right? Oh, that's why I was thinking of him. Yeah, I thought it was a bloke. I'm not really up on these celebrities, really. I don't really know new celebrities in that. I see all these names. Danny Dyer, I can't remember who he is, to be honest. Honestly, I don't watch them. I see the new ones and I immediately take a dislike to them, like that Keith Lemon doesn't do anything for me. It's very popular, but for me, no, not for me. Hello to Jeff Burley. Good evening, Jeff. Nice to hear from you, Jeff. I think we might be able to get up to the caravan around Easter. I think so, yeah, maybe just afterwards. As long as we keep washing our hands and wearing masks when we're out. I've got to go into London tomorrow. Yeah, I've got to go down and see my special doctor about my little bit of a throat problem, which actually today is a bit better. And in actual fact, I was talking to my mate about this on the phone earlier on. And I have been in before with this problem. I need to be told, and I've had a camera up the nose, which I've had either twice or 3 times. I don't like that. No, it's 3 times. It's 3 times. I've had it 3 times. They stick a camera up your nose. It's uncomfortable. It's horrible. Horrible. That being said, it lasts for no more than a few minutes, right? And on every single occasion, they found nothing and told me and asked me if I get a lot of acid reflux. And you may remember, a couple of weeks ago, I told you I was having it a lot. And I know what it is. It's because I'm eating bleeding bread again. I've got to stop eating the bread now. As luck would have it, we got Lent on Wednesday, and what with me being a Roman Catholic and Shania, head of the Catholic Church, will be keeping an eye on me. Bread, biscuits, anything like wheat type stuff, right? Goes out the window and stops. And I have a feeling once I stop that, it will completely stop. And in a way, I was thinking, oh, maybe you should just cancel the appointment tomorrow and then wait and see what happens next week. But I've made it now, and I'm very funny going into London at the moment. But I'll have my mask, and I'll have my hand gel and all that, and I'll be in and out of that hospital fairly quickly, so fingers crossed for that. But I think that's probably what it is. I'm pretty sure that's probably what it is. Okay. Good evening to George Bonds. Good evening, George. Nice to see you, sir. Hello to Paul in Cornwall. Evening, Paul. Thanks very much for that, Paul. He's talking about texting, text magic. So thanks for that very much, Paul, which I will have a look at. I have actually found a way to text people very cheaply. Maureen is the person that I text over the thing. Unfortunately, she can't reply to what I text from Skype. I didn't know you could do that. Someone suggested, one of you lovely people, suggested that I could text from Skype. And I sent her a test text. I sent her a test text, which she received. So then, yesterday afternoon, I sent her a first lot of numbers on Skype, and that all works nicely. Fantastic, and not expensive either. And I really, really wanted Maureen to play it. It just seems a little bit. I was going to say sad then. I don't mean that in a nasty way. It's a little bit sad how she couldn't win, if you see what I mean. She was playing along, but she couldn't win. She couldn't play with everyone else because she's using different tickets. Because I couldn't get her the numbers, right? And now we're able to do that. So I'm pleased about that. But you can't text back off that. Okay? If she wants to send me a text, she's got to do it on the text number. So I'll have a little look at that text magic thing that you've sent me there, Paul. And thanks very much. I'm very pleased your radio shows are going well. I did hear a little bit of your... Was it love songs yesterday? Slow songs. Did you call it your love song? So I did hear a little bit of that yesterday. Very nice indeed, sir. Very nice. Thanks very much for that, Paul. Oh, he's just put this here. You get a virtual number you can text from Skype. Unless you're in... Yeah, you can't... Yes, that's right. Unless you're in the USA. Absolutely right. Yeah, absolutely right. It only works if you're in the USA. So you can send texts with Skype, but you can't receive them in. So I'll have a look at that. All right. Okay. Mike in Brighton. On a trip to California... California, here I come, la da da da, up your... Sorry, I was treated to a barbecue. I was munching on a very tasty kebab, and it turns out it was kangaroo. Oh, you're not eating Skippy, are you, darling? Skippy, Skippy, Skippy the butch kangaroo. Butch, butch, butch. Eh? Oh, you can't be eating poor little Skippy, love. They did do that all the time, didn't they? Have you seen their babies? They're tiny. You don't think these great big mothers like that, and this tiny baby comes out like that, and comes out of its bum, doesn't it? And then crawls into the pouch and stays there until it can go out there hopping. I like to see little natural history things like that as well, don't you? My most unusual meal, I think, was probably just a normal Chinese meal. A normal Chinese meal that I would never forget it. 1979 it was. I was on a Scout international camp which replaced the Scout Jamborees. Now, I don't know if you saw the photo I put up the other day. Right. Okay. Don't know if you saw the photo I put up the other day, but I looked up one of the campsites that we stayed at, Subumuk, it was called, in the USA. It's in the county of Maine. You don't call them counties there, what do you call them? States. In the state of Maine, which is basically a massive forest with lakes. It's beautiful. And in 1979, I was extremely lucky to be chosen to be able to go on this particular trip. Mum and Dad couldn't really afford to send me, so my uncle kindly paid for it, Uncle Terry, who's sadly no longer with us. And I found the whole thing very scary, and if I'll be honest with you, I didn't feel like I quite fitted in. Do you know what I mean? I didn't feel like I quite fitted in with the whole thing, but nevertheless, years later, I think often, and a lot of you are around my age, when you get older, you appreciate more the things that you had years ago. Am I right? You do, don't you? You absolutely do appreciate the things you had years ago more. And as I sit here in front of you tonight, I can tell you what a blooming marvellous time I had on this do. I mean, it really was absolutely fantastic. And I started looking for the photo. Now, there were only 2 photos, unfortunately. And here they are, if you didn't see. Now, can you spot me there? Where am I? That's Subumuk Base, Maine National High Adventure. It's a lovely photo, isn't it? You can see me there, can't you? What a miserable bastard, look. My best friend was the one, or the friendliest person was the one on this side. There he is, at the bottom next to me there. He's actually got his back towards me and his arm folded. When I showed this to my mate over the FaceTime the other day, he said, well, he obviously doesn't like you. And I said, why is that? He said, well, look, he's got his back to you and his arm folded. That couldn't be further from the truth. He was probably my better friend there. Okay. And I was 16 here and I smoked like a trooper. In fact, a lot of us used to smoke there. And the Americans were very surprised at this because none of them smoked. And that was our section. But the whole lot is, there we are. That's all of us there. You'll have to excuse that little thing there. Don't know if you can see me there. There I'm right in the corner there at the bottom there, kneeling down. All right. Isn't that a wonderful thing to have? And it was just beautiful. All that business going on there. Absolutely beautiful. And after the trip, which I think lasted, I can't remember how long it was now. It might have been 2 weeks or something like that. I've even got some special badges, which I've got on my Scout shirt next door, which I'll bring in at some point if someone reminds me. All right, not today. And after we'd done all that, that was all canoeing and walking and all that, then we went and stayed with a couple of families. Okay? And again, one of the families, I was on my own, and the children were much younger than me, and I just didn't feel like I fitted in there at all. But the first family I did, and 3 of us went to this first family, and they were in Boston. And lovely bloke. I think his name was Mr. Fagerberger or something like that. And his wife was such a nice lady. And I've typed in the name of the person, but I can't find who it is, unfortunately. But there, one night, obviously they fed us and looked after us and took us out and all that business. And one particular night they did this Chinese meal. Now, I'd never had Chinese food. My mother, as I know some of you will agree with this, was the best cook in the world. Was your mother the best cook in the world? Of course she was. Was she? My mother was the best cook in the world. But we never had foreign food. was no Chinese, no curries. It was very much roast beef, sausages, beans, potatoes, pies. Incidentally, there's a lovely pie in Marks and Spencer's. Mushroom pie. They're only £2. Go and get one. Mushroom pies in Marks and Spencer's. Oh, and the vegetarian bit. All right. So one night they had this Chinese meal. And I always remember sitting at this table and there were three of us. I thought, oh God, Chinese food. I'm not going to like this. Anyway, I sat there eating it. And there were these pork things and it was all sorts of stuff. And I ate it all and that was all right. You know, I thought, oh, it's okay, I suppose. Because I was hungry, of course. Didn't like to complain. I wouldn't sit there and say I don't like any of this. That's just downright rude, isn't it? Don't you think? Anyway, so I had that and then went to bed. And after a little while, I woke up and I was as sick as anything. I knew I would be. I thought, if you eat this, you're going to be sick. Because you don't want it. Didn't want it. I was as sick as anything and I never touched it. I can't bear the smell of going past a Chinese restaurant. I don't know what it is they cook that stuff in, or it must be the spices or something like that. I can't stand the smell. So that would be my placenta, you see. Well, not actually my placenta, you know. Just it's not for me, Chinese. Differently, I love the smell of going past the Indian ones. I love the smell that comes out of the spices of the Indian restaurants. But if you're a regular viewer to the show, you'll know I tried a curry a few times, replacing the beef with corn cubes, which is exactly the same, except it's not a dead animal. And I've never been able to get that right. It just smells wrong. It doesn't smell anything like those beautiful smells coming out of proper Indian restaurants. But the Chinese food, no, I can't bear it. Can't bear it. My sister are out of Chinese, and my nephews and my niece, not for me at all there. Let's just read some of your messages here, gang. Don't forget, you can call in if you want. 0208 144 3477. Sorry to bother you. £2.40 a month to receive the text message. Oh, is that it? Is that it? Okay. Well, that's £2.40 a month to receive the text message. And it's all you need to do. Well, that doesn't sound too bad. But, Paul, at the moment, the setup is I spend a small amount of money, sending very small amount pennies, sending a text to Maureen once a week. And to receive the texts on here is nothing. I don't need to put money on that to receive texts. I think you've got to make one paying thing every 180 days to keep it going. So I may well stick with that one there. All right. Hello to Pete. Good evening, Pete. Send Martin back to school. Update his certificates. Then you got yourself a cheap Sparky. Thank you, Pete. The trouble is he's miles away from here, you see. That's the trouble. He's miles away from here. Do you want me to read you that, just going backwards a little bit there, my thing from the estate agent? Now, where is it? There it is. Here we go. I'll read you the statement. Remedial works. Any of the blokes who do electrics will know this. Martin will know this. If you're a bloke who does this sort of thing, you'll know. Remedial works to satisfy EICR. I think that's the certificate, right? 550 quid. Okay. C2 installation of a metal-clad 18th edition consumer unit with full RCBO protection. Mains. Econ 7. £500. So that's 500. F1 investigation into no power at the hallway heater. £100. Total cost £1,380. And these blasted bills keep coming. They keep coming. I've had to do someone's windows, someone's kitchen. Oh, not the whole price. Someone's kitchen. This thing. Repair of a couple of computers. These bills just keep coming. Is anyone else having that at the moment? You kind of wonder, didn't you? And I look at these bills, and they're always like hundreds of pounds. And you think to yourself, you look at these bills, are they just rounding them up to the nearest 500 now or something? Anyway, there we are. That's the placenta story there. All right, what else have we got here? Gary Ross, are you paying attention? Oh, Gary, I can't tell you the trouble I've had today. Now, Gary Ross is one of those extremely kind people who sends in a super chat now and again, and it's very kind of you to do so, Gary. Thank you very much. Right? We were doing little super chat raffles. Not doing one of those at the moment, okay? But we do a super chat raffle now and again. And a little while ago, it's got to be 5 weeks now, Gary. About 5 weeks ago, he won the super chat prize, which was an Echo Dot. Okay? I only had one, an Echo Dot. Anyway, so he won the super chat prize. And then I think on the Monday morning, off it went. Sent it to him. Waited a week. 2 weeks. He's in Belfast. Didn't arrive. 3 weeks. Nope, still not there. I think at week 3 is Mrs. Leslie emailed me, quite understandably. It's not arrived yet. Oh no, don't say that's gone missing. 4 weeks. And I think we're at about week number 5 now, to be honest. Didn't arrive. And Gary wrote to me the other day, just to let you know it hasn't arrived yet. Give it another week. And I'm thinking, you've waited long enough for that. But I haven't got another one. I don't have another Echo Dot. When I bought these, I bought a couple of them, you see. It was on Black Friday. And they were vastly cheaper than what they are now. Anyway, so I thought, well, I've got to send something else then. And I located, I don't want to say what it is because it'll be a nice, I think you'll be pleased when it gets there. I located a prize for you, okay? And I thought, right, okay, I'll post it off anyway. So there's a little bit of emails going backwards and forwards, me and Gary. And he said, no, please leave it another week. Let's see how it goes. Because the postal service coming from mainland to, I say mainland, I mean, Northern Ireland is kind of mainland anyway, isn't it? I mean, you're not a tiny island, you're part of a large island. So going from this side to Northern Ireland are getting caught up in all sorts of EU crap at the moment, I think Gary was saying. Anyway, so he said wait a little while longer, and I'm like, no, you've waited long enough now. Because I don't like someone to be disappointed. It's not my fault it hasn't got there. But nevertheless, one feels that you need to do something about it. So I packaged this thing up. I did what I usually do. Came on the line, typed out my little thing. The only difference I had this time, which is something I don't normally do, is I decided to do it tracked. An extra £1 or whatever, but I decided to do it tracked, so I don't know, I printed it all out, and it's all there. So that was Sunday afternoon, right? All done. And then Sunday night, of course, we done our bingo last night. Nice little game of bingo. Couple of extra players there. I was very pleased about that. All done, right? This morning I decided, okay, you've got some stuff to take down the post office. So I took down Mark Bowles won a water bottle last night. The letters went off in the post. Okay, so I've got to walk into the post office and give them the water bottle and the big parcel that's gone off to Gary Ross. Right. So she's taken the water bottle, beep, beep, scanned it with that thing, beep, beep, fine. Then she takes the big parcel, beep, beep. Oh, it says that you can't take this. Oh, well, why is that then? She says it's referring the customer back to the website. I said, well, why can't you take it? I don't know. It's just referring me back to the website. Now, it's not like a main post office I'm talking to here. All right? It's like the desk within the newsagent. Do you know what I mean? The lady's all right. It's not that she was wanting to be unhelpful. I just don't think she knew what to do. And it wasn't telling her, please refer the customer back to the website. I mean, of course, right? So this was on my walk. I wanted to drop the stuff off and go on my walk. Well, I can't do that now. Got a bloody great big parcel in a bag next to me. I'm not going to walk along with that, am I? And go to Marks and Spencer's and get some mushroom pies. So, okay, well, thanks very much. Took the parcel back in the bag. I've had to come back home. Come back home, gone upstairs, fired up the post office website. Do you think you can find... And it's always the same when I go to a damn website and look for help. I can't find what I need help for. Anyone else find that? Yes? Also, you can't find a damn phone number. They don't want to talk to you on the phone. And when you do find it, press 1, press 2, and you press 3, press 4, press 5, and you get to 5, and press 0 to hear the options again. But the option you want hasn't even come up. So eventually I just pushed a couple of options. Someone who gave me another phone number, which I rang, told her the problem. Someone who gave another number. She sat there and listened, admittedly. They clearly people in the UK, right? Admittedly, she was very nice on the phone and listened to everything I had to say, but she couldn't work it out either. She said, I don't know why they've refused it. What did she actually say? I said, well, she just told me to go and look at the website. That was it. She said, I'll tell you what, take this number. These are the click and drop team. So she gives me another number, 0345 266 1004, which I shall save. There they are. There's all the numbers there that way. 3 numbers I went through, all 0345, so that costs money as well, doesn't it, eh? Right. So I've rung this number, told her the problem. I said, it's a tracked one. Ah, she says. Right, get this, right? It's a tracked number. Oh, they can't take those at the post office. Oh, well, why is that then? Well, it's a separate company. What do you mean it's a separate company? The post office, I bet you didn't know this, the post office is a separate company from the Royal Mail. So how does that work? Well, what do I do with it? You've got to take it to a sorting office. I said, by a sorting office, do you mean the delivery office where we go to collect our parcels? You know, if you get the card through the door and you're not in. That's right, she says. Oh, right, okay. So I wasn't angry or shouting down the phone or anything. But what a bloody palaver. It doesn't finish. I haven't finished yet. Don't go yet. You won't hear the end of the story. Perhaps we should have an advert here, should we? Different company. I come back in. I've spent 45 minutes trying to bloody well sort this out now. It's now 11:30. All right? My 2-hour walk, forget it. Because if I go for a 2-hour walk now, it's going to be 1:30 by the time I get back. Dinner at 2:15, half past. It's too late. So I thought, well, it's warmed up. It's warmed up a bit, isn't it? So it's warmed up a bit outside. I'll get my bike out. I haven't been on my bike for weeks, months actually. I think October probably, November was the last time I was on my bike. Right. So I got the bike out of the shed. Strangely enough, the tyres are not flat. They're all sort of quite hard and pumped up, a little bit like myself, gang. As you well know. Do you want to see some muscles today? Got the bike out, just about managed to put this. It's quite a large box, Gary. You're going to like it. You'll be pleased. Put this box in the back bike, and off I went on my bike. And I thought, oh, this is lovely. I'm glad I got my bike out. And I'll tell you what, you did not feel it when you. It wasn't not too bad, but pushing down on those pedals when you haven't been on that bike for some time. So I'm on my bike, and it's about 20 minutes cycle away. 20 minutes cycle, or sort of 45 to 50 minutes walk to this sorting office. And normally I would have walked, but it was a big box, you see. Anyway, so I'm coming down there. Got to the post office. Prop my bike up against the wall, because we can do that here. It's not like London, you know. Take your eyes off your bike for 2 seconds and the thing's disappeared. Went to the doors. And seriously, you couldn't make this up. There's a sign on the door. And it's those words that we keep coming across now. You ready? The 4 words. Due to COVID-19 restrictions, the opening hours of this sorting office have changed. Monday. It's very short opening hours. Monday, 8 till 10. Well, how am I going to do that? I'm on the radio at 9. Tuesday, 8 till 10. Wednesday, closed. Thursday, 8 till 2. And then 4 till 8. And then Saturday closed. It's hardly open. And I'm now imagining, when it is open, these queues of people trying to get into this damn place. And I thought, you've got to be joking. And I sat there and fortunately I rang up my mate and screamed down the phone at him. And he managed to calm me down. I said, what an effing joke this is. You couldn't make it up. So, I still have your parcel here. So I'm afraid, Gary Ross and Leslie, you're going to have to come off the bingo list. I can't be sending stuff to you like this. It's ridiculous. So back went the box in the back of the bike bag, and off I carried on to Marks and Spencer's. And I thought, just my luck with this damn parcel. I'm going to park my bike outside the shopping centre here, and someone's going to nick the box, because I'm not taking that into Marks and Spencer's. But they didn't, and I went into Marks and Spencer's. I went in there specifically for lemon juice, for my pancake day tomorrow. Shrove Tuesday. Oh, please don't say what Shrove is. Shania, can you tell them, darling? Oh, Christ. Bloody heathens watching this programme, dear. Heathens. So I went in there for lemon juice, and I also bought a couple of mushroom pies while I was in there and some crisps, because I can have them until Wednesday. And then Wednesday, of course, it's Lent. So no more bread, no more crisps or cakes or chocolate. It all goes out the window. For 40 days and 40 nights, he suffered on the hill. That one. Yes. What a palaver. Came back out and the box was still there. Put my stuff, come back here and had my lunch. I was fuming. The trouble to send a bleeding box. And it's because I tracked it this time. So I know where it is. Can't leave it at the post office. What a load of crap, eh? There you go, Gary. Are you wet yourself yet, darling? That's £25, please. There you go, Gary. Hello to Steve Murray. Hello, Steve. Hope things are... Have you got that nice... You don't need that diesel generator on there, do you, my love? It's nice and warmed up, Steve. Hello, Steve Murray. Hello to Mike in Brighton. Thanks very much, Mike. When you come to Brighton, I'll treat you to dinner in Planet India, an Indian restaurant that only cooks vegetarian. Sounds delicious. You will love it. I worked in a hotel, Nick. Oh, there you go. He's trying to get me into a hotel with him now. I'm not cheap, dear. Don't think you're going to buy me a meal and have your wicked way. I'm not cheap. Rude. You will love it. I worked at a hotel next door, and if I close my eyes now, I can still smell the amazing smells, which, to be fair, do happen outside most Indian restaurants. Beautiful smells coming out. Me do a curry, it stank. It was awful, the smell. 3 times I tried to do this curry. Never didn't work for me. Jeff, someone's pulling your leg. I changed a 12-way fuse board last week, upgrading earth bond, mains cable, still at a knife profit from the £300 I charged. Yeah, but you see, my work is in their hands. You see, that's the trouble, Jeff. I know nothing about this stuff. Plus, of course, if you were down here, it'd be a different thing. I could send you in, couldn't I? But you're up there and I'm down here and... Oh, I don't know. It just goes on, these bills. Can't just keep coming in like this. It's ridiculous. And there's another house got to have that EC1R1, or what it's called now. There's another one got to be done next month. There's Shania. Good evening, Shania. Hello, Shania, darling. Could you pop on the chat box and tell these idiots what Shrove Tuesday is? They don't get it, darling. They haven't got a clue. It's the same people that don't understand Christmas anymore or Easter. What's Easter? Oh, it's about chocolate eggs. No, dear. Jesus Christ is risen. Jesus Christ is risen today. Hallelujah. Not yet, though. Not yet. He's got to be crucified first, darling. Yes. Do you know, that would be the second Easter I haven't been to church. I can't believe it. Hello to Glenda. Hello, Glenda. I think you should stop giving gifts. It's super nice of you, but sounds more of a hassle than anything. I will always watch you, gifts or not. Thank you, Glenda. Well, we have for the moment stopped doing the super chat for a while. The thing is with the bingo, you see, you can't really have a bingo without any prizes unless you make them all smaller. Like as in will go in a first class envelope, and then do you know what I mean? It's just how it is, really. I mentioned before with the bingo thing, that's on its own channel, thebingochannel.co.uk. With the bingo thing, I really thought it would take off, like as in a few hundred people playing, but it just hasn't. Had it done so, we might have made some money from sort of the amount of people watching. You've got to go over 1,000 subscribers to be able to put any money in. But even then, it's pennies. Seriously, pennies. If you want to make money from doing this, you've got to have tens of thousands of views, and I just don't have them on any channel. It's just how it is. One of those things, But why I'm happy to do it, that's fine, Fran has lost half a stone in 2 weeks. I'm sorry, Fran. Incorrect day, darling. That's Wednesdays, my love. Wednesdays, dear. Wednesdays is way. I understand. Fran's very excited. She's lost half a stone. Congratulations, Fran. That's good doing, my darling. Well done. Well done. Very good doing, Fran. Anyway, there's your post office story, Gary. All right. Let Leslie know, my darling. 0208 144 3477 if you want to call in today. Valentine's Day. Did you get anything? Did you get anything? Did you send anything? Or get anything? Maybe not this year. It's a bit different, isn't it, this year? I think it's one big con. I've always thought that. My mate Ross Patzelt, he's on Reach on Air. He's on tomorrow night. 8 o'clock, I think he's on tomorrow night. You'll like him. If you like me, you'll like him, okay? He's very chatty. Plays records. Importantly, like me, he doesn't talk over the records. Oh, that's annoying, that, isn't it? Not the introduction bit. That's there to be talked over. It's when people start singing, you've got to shut up. Don't talk over people singing. It's really bad. Very, very bad to talk over singing. Anyway, Ross is the same as me. He does a lot of chat in between the records. He's a bit more blokey than me. And he's got a little family and all that. He's a nice bloke. And he was saying on his Reach on Air show last night that he thinks they're just made up days to extract as much money from people as possible, including roses. Not the chocolates, no, dear. The flowers. You ever sent 12 flowers, 12 roses to someone on Valentine's Day by Interpol Interflora or something like that? Shocking how much they charge. Shocking. But that being said, these little florist business, that's where they make most of their money. Valentine's Day. And all the prices shoot up. If you really want to do it, do not buy flowers on Valentine's Day unless you're going to Aldi. Right? They're very reasonable. I don't know if they did them this year. They've been very, very reasonable the last couple of Valentine's Days when I've been in there doing a little bit of shopping. Last year and the year before, not this year, obviously. They're reasonable, but to order from a florist, Jesus, 50, 60, 75 pound? What, for flowers? I mean, none of us are on Elton John's money, are we? Mad. And Ross was saying in his show, these are all made up days. So Mother's Day, Father's Day, Valentine. What else have we got? Valentine's Day. These are just made up days to sell stuff. And he don't have any of it. He doesn't buy. He said. I think he said he felt a little bit guilty about not getting her a card. Well, you can get a card, can't you? The day afterwards is when you want to go and do it. You don't have to do it on the Valentine's Day. The day after. The day after, they're chucking those flowers at you because they need to get rid of them. They only last so long, so if you really want to do it the day after. But did you get any Valentine stuff? I can't think the last time I got Valentine stuff, funnily enough, I was going out with some bloke in Brighton. Went round there after work. Used to work in Clapham and would drive down to Brighton afterwards on a Sunday to spend some time. And a teddy bear and chocolates and things like that. It's years ago. I might just go out and buy myself some Valentine stuff and be done with it. Does that sound reasonable? Let's have a look there. Where are we? Steve Murray, we should have a single big blokes day. That would be nice. Yeah, well, I'm all for that. When we just buy ourselves presents. Well, I bought myself something anyway, haven't I? Air conditioning for the bedroom, which, to be frank with you, I wouldn't have ordered had I known this bleeding bill was going to drop in. Another one. The plant behind you, is it Gary's present? What do you mean, is that Gary's present? Is Cadbury's present that plant behind? What are you going on about, George? Glenda, I'm getting a new mini bull terrier puppy. Oh, how lovely. I love little puppies and dogs. I do quite like dogs. They're all right. I prefer cats. Dogs are okay, except the ones that get really violent. Alsatians, if they're trained, like there's a bloke round here with a security dog, it hates everyone. You can't go near it. It terrifies the life out of me, this dog. But give the bloke his due. Whenever he sees someone coming, he walks on the other side. This dog is vicious. It's quite old now. I very much doubt it would survive a good whack on the head with a bleeding metal bar. You know. Anyway, Glenda said, that's my Valentine's Day and birthday gift. Oh, Glenda. Trouble is, Glenda, you know, with dogs and all that, it's the training, you know, and the mess. Oh, no, dear. Oh, the smell. You see, don't get that with cats. From the moment these cats come out of their mothers, they seem to know that they need to use the cat tray. It's like an instinct, but dogs don't have that instinct, do they? Perhaps it could be injected into them at some point. Eh? There's a new TV show with Gordon Ramsay. It's a quiz show coming soon to BBC One Colour. I hope it's as good as The Wheel, because we love The Wheel, don't we? That'll be back probably in the autumn. The Daily Mirror's take on this. The chef turned game show host has compared Gordon Ramsay's bank balance to The Chase and Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. We'll come back to that story in a moment. George is calling in. Good evening, George.
Good evening, Chris.
How are you, all right?
Yes.
Okay, what you got for me?
You know when I text you saying that, I meant to say is that the plant what your nephew Gary gave to you?
Gary never gave me a plant.
Because when he was over your caravan once, he gave you a plant.
Oh, that was a load of flowers. No, they were cut flowers. It wasn't an actual plant. So they come and you hold them for beautiful flowers. They were absolutely beautiful. I remember Evie bought them in, didn't she? My great niece Evie.
Yeah.
No, they were all right. About 2 weeks. Quite a long time they lasted actually. He brought them up to the caravan and they sat next to me there, didn't they? Yes, no, that's not them. This is quite old. This is a few years old now, and I've repotted it a couple of times. You don't get any flowers out of it, but the leaves are just beautiful, aren't they?
Yeah.
Do you have any plants, George, in your bedroom, or what?
No, not really, no.
Does your nan not allow you to have plants either, as well as bingo cards?
Yes.
That's a shame, isn't it?
Yeah.
Never
mind.
Did you
get my email?
Pardon?
Did you get my email?
What email?
I sent you a video.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, George. Well, thanks for calling in, all right?
Yes.
Bye-bye. There we are, George calling in there for your boys and girls. 0208 144 3477. George sent a little video in, which you'll see very shortly. Back to this story in the Daily Mirror then. Yes, Gordon Ramsay, the chef-turned-game show host, has compared Gordon Ramsay's bank balance, which is the name of his new TV show, to The Chase and Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Do you like that with Chris Tarrant? The other bloke does he now, doesn't he? The car bloke. Isn't that back on the telly? The car bloke does it, doesn't he? Gordon Ramsay is so confident his new BBC One game show will be a massive hit. He's comparing it to The Wheel, The Chase and Who Wants to Be a Millionaire before it's even aired. The chef, who first embarked on a TV career with Hell's Kitchen and Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares in 2004, is turning game show host with Gordon Ramsay's bank balance. Now, I enjoyed the Hell's Kitchen and Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares. You know where he goes in, I think it's one of those programmes, or both of them maybe. He goes into like a restaurant and sorts out all their problems. But I think there's a line between being helpful and, you know, what would you say, firm about problems, and then rudeness. And quite frankly, he's bleeding rude on there sometimes, the way he speaks to people. And I stopped watching it because of that. I thought, no, you're just being rude now for the sake of being rude for the cameras. I think I've seen a little snippet of him doing this game show, only about 5 seconds or so. I can't remember where I saw it. And it looks all right. but I don't know what the format is or how it works. The story goes on here. He admits to being nervous after the BBC decided to screen the untested format in prime time over 3 nights of the week for 3 weeks. And that sounds like it's already been on, but it hasn't yet. There's something pretty dynamic about being given a show at 9 p.m, stripped across 9 nights on the BBC, he says. You wake up in the morning and you wee yourself, he says. Not those words. It's very rare you get the chance not to just present your own show, but to be part of the creative team. I'd love to do something like that. You know, like a game show. Not a serious game show, something that's fun. Like the Generation Game. I'd love to do something like that. The bit that got me out of bed every morning at 5 o'clock was the fact that you could be part of the creative team rather than just be the host. You know, Michael McIntyre, I don't know if you know this, he wrote The Wheel. That's his game show. He's not just presenting it, he wrote the idea, and he was in the bath apparently at the time. He came up with the idea when he was in the bath. We've seen it on BBC One. He's now sold that programme to countries, including America, and is set to make about £13 million for it. Good on him for an idea. It's not bad, is it, eh? I expect probably in a couple of weeks I'll make £13 million off this programme. You know, just waiting for that phone call. It'll come. One has to have hope. Anyway, according to this, he's been involved in it as well. It's better than just turning up in it. Like, you see people like that Ben Shepherd, you know, or whoever, and they're just hosting the show, they're just being told what to do and say, just boring. And the little bloke, who is it, Windsor Davis? I can't bear that one. It's fake. That fake smile. It's a shame, really, because he's very talented. That show, to me, just does not suit him at all. Tenable, isn't it? Tenable. Awful programme. Smile like that all the time. Smile. Yeah, if you can't smile naturally, don't do it, darling. That's what I think. It's the same with Ben Shepherd. The fake smile on there. You watch him sometimes on that This Morning. It's like that. Chief together like that. I mean, I can do that like that. Can you tell that's fake now? That's a fake. That's what a fake smile is like. And that's what Ben Shepherd does. And that Windsor Davis. It's not really there. You got to enjoy what you're doing. And then you can see the real smile on your face. It's not just the mouth, is it? It's the sparkling eyes as well. The eyes are not sparkling. The smile isn't real. And if either of those two were watching this programme, they'd probably go home now and try some eye drops or something like that. Ramsay says that the young team, and he's got his own TV company called Studio Ramsay, dedicated hundreds of hours during lockdown to the development of the new game show, which, fingers crossed, will be an amazing hit. And you need to spend time on stuff to get it as you want it to, you know. I mean, the thing is, as you want a show to look and sound, as in video, or just sound as in radio, you've got an idea in your head how you want it to be. This, what you see in front of you now, okay, is really how I want it to come across. It's coming across as I want it. And the radio show as well. The beauty of being on an internet radio show, okay, none of us are making any money, we never will. But we are giving you what we think, what we want to give you, you see? Without being told by anyone else what to do or say. Now, it may be that we've got the wrong idea. It may be that I've got the wrong idea. I've had many people suggesting things to me, but, I think you should do this. And I think, no, I don't sound right to me, so I don't do it. But it may be that I should take someone's advice and start doing that. But then you're doing something that you don't really want to do. And if the money means nothing, if it's not about making money, which this isn't, then why would you do that? We've got another call. Danny Woodhouse. Hello, Danny.
Hi. Yes.
Good evening.
I see Michael Lawrence was gagging for me to phone in, so I thought, oh, right, then I'll give you some of
what
my
you're going to say then, dear.
undivided attention. What was that you said earlier about some bloke with a dog, was it, who you have to steer clear of round your way?
Oh, yeah. He's got this horrible, great big security dog. Bloody Alsatian. Horrible thing it is.
Well, that's funny because I used to actually know a bloke who didn't have a dog, but you still had to steer clear of him.
No, not the bloke, dear. The dog. The
Oh, I
dog.
know that, but this was a bloke who he just didn't actually have a dog, but you just still steered clear of him. He lived round my mum's way.
There's probably
All the time I was there.
there's probably a few of those as well.
Yeah. Well, they called him the ginger nutcase because he
Was
really
he ginger
was.
then? Was he?
Yeah, and he had three topics of conversation:
Right.
weight loss, piles, and his father who died, but he hadn't died.
Well, it's not dissimilar to this show, really, is it? We're always talking about poo and bums on this show.
Yeah, but at least when you do it, Chris, it's like kind of like all right.
Oh, is it? I'm glad to hear that, Daniel. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's just that with him, he was like, well, he stunk actually. It was like, we were just a mix of like body odour and piss.
Oh.
Or like, it was just the most worst ever stink of a person you can imagine.
Oh. Do you know what? I'm absolutely serious here. I have stood behind more than one person in the queue at Aldi smelling like that. They all seem to go there, dear. They'll get everyone in Aldi. There's decent people like myself. Well, maybe he had some sort of medical condition. I don't know. But it's very unpleasant standing behind someone who smells exactly as you just described it there.
Yeah.
Fortunately,
Well, I mean,
this is the one good thing with the social distancing now. Let's hope that always stays now.
Well, I could probably be the king of social distancing. I've always, I see people coming towards me. I go, it's him. Run for your life.
Do you find people keep away from you, Daniel?
Probably. Well, the funny thing is, Chris, funny you should say that because my mum's always warned me, Daniel, dressing like you do, you make yourself vulnerable, you might get picked on. But then I tell her, well, the funny thing is, Mum, is that the only people who've ever picked on me for the way I look are people who can't even dress themselves, people who look, the sort of people who you want to say, they're going to go at me, and then you really want to say to them, look at you, you can't even bloody dress yourself. I've never ever had anyone have a go at me for something who I looked at and thought, actually, yeah, you might, but I can see you're like a million times better than me. Oh, I thoroughly agree with what you say. No, I've never had one of them. It's always been people who are worse than me, funny enough.
Oh.
So maybe that might go to say something.
Yeah.
I must be a saint compared to them.
Some people do need to have a shower, though, don't they, Daniel?
Oh, I know.
Awful.
I don't know how it can't be like,
It don't cost a lot of money for a bar of soap and a bit of water on your head.
Oh, no. Oh, actually, I'm glad you mentioned the S word, soap. That reminds me, because I heard a story. Obviously, I was working in the bingo at the time, and this bloke, the ginger nutcase, he'd actually been banned from the Mecca East Ham. I think he lasted in there about 10 or 20 minutes, and this customer went and told a manager. And then I think that they knew all about him anyway. But she thought, right, I've had a customer complaint. Now's my chance to get rid of him. So she told him he had to go, and he was banned from Mecca East Ham. And when she come back in, I said, Eunice, thank you, you've got rid of him. Oh, thank you. But
I don't think they notice it half the time, Daniel. The people who are smelling, I don't think they're aware of it a lot of the time.
No, it's because someone called it, I think, nose blindness.
Yeah. I remember being at Belushi's in London Bridge some years ago, and there was one lad, decent lad, and he would come on the stage. Oh, my God. I tell you what, the smell was so bad that you could smell it at the other end of the bar when you walked in. And eventually, I think one of the doormen, after this happening I would never tell you who it was, because he was a nice bloke. He was nice. He wasn't old. He was about 28, I suppose, 25, 28. And the doorman once had a word with him. And he left and never came back after that. But he absolutely stank the place out. And we've asked people to leave from Central Station. I'm sorry, do you mind going home and having a shower and coming back again? That's happened before, because I was told afterwards. And again, I'd never tell you who that is. It has to be said that some people can't quite reach with the soap and all that, and they need help and what have you. But the people that I know that have smelt certainly don't need any help, you know.
Yeah, because the thing is, with that ginger nutcase bloke, a couple of weeks later after he was banned from Mecca East Ham, get this, somebody told me that he'd been at the Stratford bingo as well, and he won £1,000 on a link. And someone shouted out from the back, "Here, how many bars of soap can you buy with that then?"
Was it you by any chance, Daniel?
No, I hadn't been to Stratford. This was the very early days, of course, and I'd never... I don't think I'd got to Stratford then.
Those link games, just explain to people. So when you go to a bingo hall, they have link games. Just tell them what they are, Danny.
It's just where there's more than one club actually playing in the same game. It's all done by digital link interface?
By telephone. Call it telephone, dear.
Yeah, it's sort of telephone lines.
So what they do is link up the various clubs at a certain time, say 8 o'clock. And at 8 o'clock, all these clubs would link up basically by telephone. It's more technical than that. Say they're all connected by the telephone, and they all play the same game. And what sort of money can you win on one of those link games, Daniel?
Well, it depends. I mean, obviously, there's the big links where there's about for say £5,000, and then there's small links where that even I actually did call a few times, where it's only about, I think, £400. I think we were playing for them Saturday afternoons at the most. But I did used to love it whenever I got the chance to do it. And you press your green button, and then it puts in link and go. And now it's over to your link caller, and they go, and it's good afternoon. Well, just Saturday afternoon link game coming to you from Romford. And we play for 1 line, 2 for 2 lines for and full house for. Nice loud shout, please, when you have a claim. The last call must be on the winning team. And then off we go, and then it was, and then go number, and then claim at Alnchurch, and then go Alnchurch. I thought, thank you very much, whoever it was.
If you're playing along, right, and there's a bloke or a lady at another venue calling the numbers, and you hear someone in your venue claim or shout bingo, do you have to push a button at all or anything?
Well, all there is with the claim button there, if you're not calling, it's just there to stop the actual generation of numbers.
Right.
But sometimes, even in the club you were calling at, sometimes a manager would even be ready to hold on that claim button just in case there was a thing going on. But the most famous link incident I heard of, because there used to be something called a link enable key. This was the old days when the technology was there for the audio to come through, but not the visual. So, nowadays, both the audio can be heard and the numbers change automatically.
The grid of numbers, yeah, okay.
Yeah. In the old days, you actually used something called a link enable key, which was where you put this key in the RNGE, twist it round, and then as you heard the numbers, if it was 48, then you enter 48, enter on the keypad, 36, 36, enter, and so on. Keep doing that.
Oh, I get you.
And some clubs have still got that, or at least they did last heard of it. And there was a caller in, I think, might have been Sunderland. This was when Gala was having their high five link.
Yeah.
And his girlfriend was going to another Gala club that night to play. And he'd arranged with her for her to text him the 5 numbers in a line on her link ticket. And then what he's done is because he's the link caller for that night. So as he started the link, while he's doing the intro bit, he's turned that link enable key, got the a little strip of paper in his hand with the numbers on it. So he's called on, and your first number is 48. So instead of pressing the number, he's going 48, enter. Oh, no, it's 25, 25, 2 and 5 to enter, and he keeps doing that. So he's done that for the first 5 numbers that she need, and then all of a sudden it's claim at wherever club it was she was playing at, Newcastle or something. I don't know. And so so we got winner for the line. Oh, well done, you got it in 5 numbers. Well done. And so on to 2. Like, so there, it was let go for a bit because they just thought, oh, it's just a winner. It happens, you know. And then I think because of the way bingo is, it always just takes one customer to like start something.
Oh, right,
and I think this customer said to the manager in that club where the girlfriend was, "Don't he? Excuse me, I think that woman. I think she looks a bit like someone's girlfriend who was the link caller tonight." So of course, because she said that, it's got to be investigated then.
Oh.
So of course, he's ended up with a prison sentence.
Why? What was wrong with it then? What did he do wrong?
Well, for cheating, really, for knowing the numbers that she needed on a line, and then using that link-enable key.
How can you know the numbers before they come up?
What if they're just generated at random? No, it's every press of that call button.
So are you saying that bingo can be cheated?
Well, it could.
How?
It could. Well, you would know. I'll give you a little secret, right? If you're just playing an in-house game, not a link, right? Because when you turn that link enable key, when it's normally in an in-house game, the screens show the numbers. Then underneath, say if you just got one number out, it'll have calls 1. But if you've turned that link enable key, it'll have underneath link 1. Instead of calls, it will say link. So you'd know if it said link, you'd know that caller was using the link enable key. But having said that, I've got to say, I think now most clubs have had the technology improved and the link enabled facility has been taken away as it's just not really needed anymore.
I still don't understand how you could possibly cheat at bingo.
Well, it's just because you got that link enable facility when it was there.
Yeah. But you push a button and the number comes up. You don't know what that. It's the same as the bingo I do. I've got a thing here. I push my mouse or a key, the space bar on my keyboard, and a number comes up. I don't know what that number's going to be, and I don't know who's got the tickets that's going to have that number come up. There's no way that I could cheat and force someone to win. I couldn't do that, and I'm failing to see how you could possibly cheat in a bingo club. You're going on about a link key here and all this business.
Yeah, but it's only because he's deferred from, instead of pressing the call button, he's using the link enable key and the numbers keypad to enter the numbers in that he knows is on his girlfriend's ticket.
Okay, I get that.
Yeah,
so
that's
he knows what ticket
doing.
She's got. And there's no machine generating the numbers, so he chooses the numbers.
Yeah, he's literally, instead of pressing the call button to generate numbers at random, he's turned the link enable key and using the numbers keypad.
No, I understand. I understand now. I understand what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Yep, I get that. So you're not actually playing with the other clubs. He's choosing he's putting the numbers up there. Right, 25, 10. He's choosing the numbers.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I didn't even know that was possible. That's news to me, that is. So what he got a prison sentence. Is that a harsh prison sentence for something like that?
I can't remember exactly.
How much was the prize? Was it thousands?
I think it would only have been if it was might have only been 1,000 or 2,000 for a line, I think.
Right.
But it was, I think 1, 2 and 5,000 or 2, 3 and 5. I know the full house was definitely had to be 5,000 because it was a high 5 link, where I think if you called up on any number ending in 5, then I think you got, was it double money? Then it went double to 10,000. But if it was the number 5 itself, that was £50,000.
Oh.
Needless to say, that did not last, that high 5 link.
When you were calling the bingo, what's the most you ever gave away?
Just about £1,000 on a normal
Yeah,
in-house
that's
game.
still a decent prize, isn't it? I'd be happy if I've played bingo and walked out with £1,000. I'd be over the moon.
Yeah, well, actually, I was the caller on the
Right.
night they did the £1 million national game,
Gosh, and who won
which didn't
that?
actually make exactly a million. It was a few hundred or thousand off a million. But it was that very special night in bingo history that's never ever been repeated, and I was actually the caller at East Ham. And I think I can't remember, it was some manager I think said to me, I think, Danny, do you actually want to call that Sunday night, or do you want Malcolm, the main stage caller, to actually do it? And I thought, I had a choice. I thought I could say, oh yeah, I'd rather he did it, but then I thought, no, it's my normal night. I've got the
No,
chance.
you do it. You do it. Yeah,
Yeah,
why
and
shouldn't you do it?
I did. I think they definitely got over 500 in that night, near to 1,000, I think, possibly 1,000. The whole place was nearly full, up, downstairs, middle, and the upper circle.
Isn't it great to know that you've got all that attention for a while?
Yes, and sadly we
You-
don't know.
you
Never
get-
be seen in East Ham again.
And you get all the old dears, don't you? They want to be your friend, don't they? And they think that you can push a button to make them win. Get my numbers out today.
Oh yeah. I mean, the ones I hated were the ones who tried to take over. There were these customers who thought they moan about everything, and you really wanted to say to them, but you couldn't. Do you want to actually? I'll take my shirt off. You can put my shirt on and get up on this stage and do the calling then.
But a lot of people don't realise what a night out of bingo is. You're not just there like reading out numbers and marking. They have a drink, they have a meal, don't they? And all this
Yeah.
business. Now and again,
Yeah.
I think there was one I went to with my sister and brother-in-law in Skegness. Some social club, and we joined up. And we went in there this night. It was during the week, so it wasn't that busy. But nevertheless, and we bought these bingo tickets. I think, and I can't remember what the price was. But I kind of turned up with a fiver, and I think it was a lot dearer than that. But we didn't question it. We just handed over the money, and we got the books, and we sat down. And then now and again, they bring around free snacks like crisps and bags of nuts and those little cheese biscuit things. They would bring around those. You could go and have a very, very beautiful, a lovely meal for literally pennies, like a pie and chips or a pasty, or you could have a full dinner. I think they had roasts there and everything, or sandwiches, whatever you wanted, and endless tea and booze and whatever. And then we sat down. The only thing is, it was so fast. I couldn't keep up. It's not like my bingo. Mine, a lot of people say mine's a bit slow, but you try and find a level that's all right for everyone. In this social club, it was so fast, and I just had real trouble keeping up. And I won, and my brother-in-law won. I don't think my sister won anything. But it was a good night, and the only reason we didn't really go back there was because it was so fast. It really went at the speed of light. There were no gaps. 2 and 5, 25. 4 and 9, 49. Boris's Den, number 10. All on its own, number 3. And I'm like, blimey, I can't keep up with this.
Yes,
Are you eating crisps?
It is timed.
Are you eating crisps?
Crisps? No, that might have just been me just cutting something then.
Are you eating something? Neither
No.
than Shetty doesn't eat when she's on the telly.
That's not the sound of the bingo printer, is it?
Well, I
Still
don't know what
going.
you're doing. You sound like you're opening a bag of crisps there.
Well, it might be the bingo printer.
Shocking state of
anyway.
affairs. Danny, and absolutely really interesting that. Thanks very much for your call tonight, Danny, all right?
Okay, Chris. I'll see
Wonderful
you
to
on
talk
Wednesday.
to you, Danny and Romford. What a good call. He always does good calls, and I know some of you actually ask him to call in whenever he's in the little chat box there. All right? If you're new to the show, welcome along. If you're in the chat box trying to send me a message, I'm afraid I don't go into the chat box at all. If you want to message me, just send me a text there, 07551 259 675, or you can call in if you want to, 020 8144 3477, or send an email, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk is my email address. Let me just check my emails, actually. Sometimes I forget to look at the emails. Oh, I've got a sneeze in here. Is it going to come or not? Can we have a sneeze? Let me look at a bright light. That one there. Here it comes. It's coming. Oh, isn't that lovely to have a sneeze? Don't you like a good sneeze? Oh, I love it, dear. Michael Lawrence is there. Hello, Michael. Talking about smelly people at the pub. Love the show. Michael, do you know who they are? I wouldn't. No way would I tell you that. Anyway, a lovely bingo story there from Danny. And going back to this programme from Gordon Ramsay, he's got his new game show starting soon. It says players can win up to £100,000 by answering questions against the clock to earn the chance to balance bars across a precarious pyramid structure. One false move and it comes tumbling down. So I don't know what that's gonna be like. I shall certainly give it a go. I do quite like game shows, but the host has got to be right. You see? Michael McIntyre, The Wheel, fantastic. Bradley Walsh, The Chase. I don't watch that very often, but fantastic. Anything that old Bob Monkhouse used to host, that always worked well. Bruce Forsyth. Ben Shepherd, no. Windsor Davis, I think is it Windsor Davis, the little bloke? What's his name? It just doesn't work for me. The host has absolutely got to be right there, isn't it, eh? Ramsey says a major aim for Bank Balance was to make it look different, saying, I wanted some sort of cutting edge. He demanded the most glamorous set possible. Now, that's the other thing. You need a really nice set, right? Did anyone see Blankety Blank at Christmas with Bradley Walsh? Oh, fantastic set. All pink and green and blue, bright flashing lights. Fantastic. It looked really good. The same as The Wheel. That set on The Wheel is multi-million £. I'm telling you now. Anything that involves movement is expensive to do. And to have 8 people sitting, or 6, whatever it is, 8 people sitting on a wheel, turning, that costs some money. Especially got Gemma Collins sitting on there. God knows how they managed to get that turn. They must have had extra motors installed on it. A lot of money. The Chase, not too much of an expensive set, really. That looks reasonably cheap to me. Just a few lights in boxes. What's it called? The Millionaire. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Not particularly an expensive set. I like it glaring at you. Do like a glaring set. Tipping Point, well, I mean, there's a lot of movement in there. That probably cost a bit, but it's not very sparkly, is it? If you want a sparkly set, it's not quite a quiz show, Strictly Come Dancing. Isn't it? The glitter on that, beautiful. I don't watch it, but I'm aware of how good that looks. Everything is sparkling. You've got the band at the back. Oh, it's wonderful. Wonderful. So Ramsey wanted to make it look different. The rose gold set resembles a spaceship. This is Gordon Ramsay's new quiz show, Bank Balance, starting soon. Asking if James Bond was ever to walk onto a game show, what would it look like? So that's what he wanted. The rose gold set resembles a spaceship, which he says intimidates every goddamn guest that walks up those stairs. Ramsey's he's 54, he's a bit younger than me. They reckon he's worth 48 million. Came into criticism for Labour. No, it goes into something else, so we're not interested in that. Goes on about the government supporting it. And, well, that's about it. But Bank Balance starts on BBC One, February the 24th. Now, that date's in my mind, February the 24th, for some reason. Why is that? Hang on. Oh, I've got to do it. There's a funeral. Nothing to do with me. Those you know, I broadcast a mass every morning from the church. He actually does it on Facebook. He actually does it on Facebook for the church that I broadcast, and I pick it up on Facebook and then send it up on YouTube. I'm not actually there. The priest, Canon Simon, contacted me, and someone's got a funeral, and they wondered if they could have it on YouTube. What do they have to do? And I have to tell you, it's not for someone who doesn't know what they're doing to do. You need software, software I use is OBS, and then you have to do certain things to be able to pick up the Facebook and send it out on YouTube. So I offered to be here on that day and just do it for them. You won't be able to see it yourself because it'll be a unlisted event, so you need the link to be able to watch it. It won't like show up on a channel or anything. But yeah, I've got a funeral on the 24th, so that's when it starts. Bank balance 24th. I'll make a note of that actually. 9 p.m. Gordon Ramsay. I really look forward to that. Any sort of shows or anything like that, fantastic. All right, any more calls? 020-8144-3477. What's that button do? What's that button do? There's a good question for you. Any idea? Ever picked up a gadget? Can't work it, can you? Eh? Thank you, Fran is blessing me. She said I can have a wish. Okay. Am I allowed to tell you the wish? No? Okay. Okay, I've made my wish. I'll let you into a clue. It didn't actually involve the father of the family down the road there. The wish didn't involve that. Yeah, I thought of something today. I've got some biscuits that my sister sent me for my birthday. 71 chocolate different biscuits and everything. I thought I might take a few down there and say, do you want to give these to the kids? And hopefully he'll answer the door. It could be a way of getting in. Do you know what I mean? Getting in with him. The only thing is his missus will probably answer the door. I don't think she likes me. Don't know why that would be. No. I think she's seen the way that I look at her husband, darling. It's just, I'm sorry, you know. I don't want to be a homewrecker. Maybe. Anyway, back to this story. If you've ever had a gadget or something like that, have you ever had to turn to a young child and say, how do I do this? I mean, it's embarrassing, isn't it? It's absolutely embarrassing. But they can do it. Has it ever happened to you? Have you ever had to turn to a young child to ask how to do something? I mean, one of the funniest things, I'm watching Cobra Kai at the moment, as recommended by the lovely Clarissa. It's an excellent series on Netflix. Believe it or not, I'm already on series 3 after just over a week, because they're only half an hour long, the programmes. I'm on series 3, okay? Episode 8, I think. So I'm nearly there, actually. They're half an hour each. And one of the blokes in there, the blonde-haired bloke, is not up on technology, and he bought a laptop. And then he took it back to the shop and said, what can I have for this? It doesn't work. Well, what do you mean it doesn't work? He said, well, it doesn't go on. He said, well, have you turned it on? And the bloke opens it up and presses the power. And he said, have you plugged it in? He said, what do you mean have I plugged it in? He said, well, have you plugged it in? And the bloke says, you told me it was wireless. And he hasn't got a clue how to do anything. Anyway, eventually he's on Facebook, and this young boy is helping him. One of his class members does a karate class, right? And the blonde bloke, he's very much into girls and babes. He likes looking at girly magazines. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. Those sort of things, right? And he happily looks through these things while this boy is doing stuff for him. One of his class members. And he's got onto the Facebook. And he's sent a message to an old girlfriend of his that he hadn't seen for 20 years. And she sent a little message back. Little message. Anyway, so he spent some time writing back to this girl. And he says to this boy, because he knows he's all up with the technology, he says, oh, I've written back to the girl. He said, oh, yeah, let's have a look. So the boy looks at his message going back to this girl. And he's like, this is like 80 pages long. And he said, yeah. He said, well, why are you sending 80 pages worth of stuff back as a message? He said, well, I've got a lot to say. It's been 20 years. He said, no, it starts looking really desperate. He said, it's a bit like looking at all the pictures someone uploads and liking them all. And the bloke looked up and the boy goes, oh, no, like that. It's hilarious. It's a hilarious scene. Really good. Because this bloke has no idea of technology, you see. But what about you? Have you ever had to refer to a younger person? I mean, how young? 8? 10? Story in the Daily Mirror. A TikTok user went viral after her 2-year-old daughter taught her the proper use for the button on the Skybox, and many parents had no idea what it was. Have you got Sky? My mate's got Sky. He's got a remote, right, for his Sky. He talks to the remote to change the channel. I'll be honest, to me it's a bit pointless. Really? He talks to the remote control. And it changes channel. How clever's that? Or he might want to search for a programme. Look for Holby City. Something like that. I don't know. And it looks it up. It's good, isn't it? And to be honest, it's a bit of a pain. You know when you search with one of those remote controls and then you're presented with letters. A. S. K. Space. T. H. Oh, it's a bleeding nightmare. That's because we haven't got keypads, and you go up and down with this blooming arrows buttons, aren't you? Selecting the various letter. And then, I tell you what, I've got Apple TV. I don't have any subscriptions. I've only really got the Apple TV so that if I'm in bed, I can stream stuff from my phone to the telly, like a YouTube or even Netflix or iPlayer, right? I don't actually subscribe to Apple. But that's got a really nice remote control. It's metal. The only thing is, when I'm searching for something, I'm forever hitting something twice or hitting the wrong thing. And then you have to go backspace. Oh, what a bleeding nightmare. So much easier to be able to talk to a remote control, isn't it? Or even better, get a small child to do it for you. You know? Perhaps I'll have one of my great nieces or nephews permanently stay at the caravan when I need something done like that. You know, Evie, can you get the telly to turn over, please? Daily Mirror says, do you have Sky TV? And if so, did you know that the button on the box can find your remote when you lose it? Did you know that? I don't have Sky here. One mum certainly didn't and was left stunned when her 2-year-old child taught her what the button does. Taking to TikTok, which is like a little videos that people have great talent on TikTok. Really, there's some fantastic people on there doing stuff. Very, very clever. People playing the piano, various videos. You get good-looking people on there. The blokes with no tops on and the girls with bikinis and things. It's all on TikTok. It's fantastic. The talent, some of the people that I got on there. You know what I saw? Oh, no, that was on YouTube. You know what I saw the other day on YouTube? An 11-year-old girl. An 11-year-old playing a church organ. I kid you not. And, of course, once you've watched something like that on YouTube, then when you've finished it, it suggests other things similar to that to watch. And what come up at the bottom? An 8-year-old boy, again, playing the church organ. I kid you not. And he's on this bench. Not only the feet as well. And bless his little heart, he's sitting right on the edge of the organ seat so that his feet can actually touch the pedals as well. I'm just amazed. No music, all by ear. I love to see that. People's talent doing stuff like that. It's fantastic. Anyway, in the Daily Mirror, talking to TikTok, this girl who posts under the username The Folding Lady shared her mind-blowing find with more than 1 million followers. She captioned the post, "Did you know this or is it just me?" In the clip, she then shows on her Skybox, if she presses the middle button, it makes her remote control emit a loud bleeping sound so she can find it if she's misplaced it. Now, have any of you got Sky? So you got the black box and there's a blue button in the middle. That's the button we're talking about. As a matter of interest, if you've got Sky, did you know this? Did you actually know this yourself? I'll repeat. In the clip, she shows on her Skybox, if she presses the middle button, the blue button, it makes her remote control emit a loud bleeping sound so she can find it if she's misplaced it. What a simple thing, and yet so useful. So incredibly useful. How many times do you lose your remote control? Where do they go? There you are. 1 minute you've changed the channel, then it's gone. How is that even possible? I think that's amazing. Her video went viral. Thousands of people also commented on the post, with many saying their little ones had also taught them the same thing. A few people had no idea about the use of the button. I wouldn't have known. Not that I've got Sky, because I haven't. One said, thanks for teaching us that. It's really helped us appreciate it. Another wrote, I've just tried this and yes, it works. My daughter can't hide the remote anymore when she doesn't want to turn YouTube off. Oh, don't even go there. Great niece Evie and great nephew Harry, all they want is YouTube on. You wouldn't mind if they watched a whole video, but it's not. The attention span of young people is so short these days. They watch like 10 seconds of a video. It drives my nephew's wife absolutely mad. She goes mad. They watch 10 seconds of a video and then they want to watch another one. Well, that one's still got another 2 minutes to go. They're already bored with it. No attention span whatsoever. Funny, isn't it? A third replied, my daughter taught me this too. A different user proclaimed, oh my God, I can't believe I've only just found out about this. Thank you. Did you know this? Have you got Sky? Did you know this? Someone else added, what, I didn't know this. Others pointed out that the trick doesn't work with all Sky boxes, suggesting it's only the ones that have a Bluetooth remote. So there we are. Must be on the voice Bluetooth models. Standard Q remote didn't work for me, admitted a sixth person. So you need a Bluetooth remote for that to actually able to work, all right? Anyone got one of those? Mike says, get yourself an Amazon Fire Stick. You can search for anything by talking into it. Only around £40. Yeah, but I bet my iPhone won't stream to it, Mike. You keep coming out with these bleeding suggestions because they're all bleeding Android, dear. Rachel, she can talk to the remote on the Amazon Fire Stick. Comes in handy when I watch TV in bed. Mick Davenport is there. Good evening to Mick. He said, good evening, Chris. I bought Mandy the same biscuits. It's called the Big Biscuit Box. They're very nice. Yeah, 72 biscuits, I think, in there. I had 3 today. But, of course, from Wednesday, I can't eat them because it's Lent. But, I mean, they'll probably be all right. They'll last, won't they? Eh? 0208 144 3477 if you want to call in. Okay, gang, I've got a video to show you today. George Bond has made a video for us all to watch of him doing archery. I often worry about George and his archery, wondering where those arrows are going to actually end up. But here it is in all its glory, George Bond's archery video, just for you.
Welcome to United Kingdom Talk with Chris Whedon. Today I'm shooting my garden bow because the bow I'm meant to be showing you hasn't turned up yet. So, and also one of the wooden ones broken. So today I thought I'll show you to shoot compound. If no one knows what compound is, it's ones with wheels. Anyway, what you do is you pull back and got weight and it drops and you've got no weight on its wheel. The poundage goes down. But today I'm shooting my plastic bow, beginner's plastic bow. There's no weight to it at all. It's like dead as a dodo. Anyway, here you go. And tape one for me for shooting. I'm not brilliant shooting at this, but if anybody finds faulty, do not moan at me in the comments because there's monoators and they get timed out. As Chris said, if anything goes on in the chat, he ignores anyway. So, but anyway, so do I because I don't go in the chat box now. Anyway, tape one. Pause. Sound not brilliant. Right. See you in a minute. You're going to see me shoot it towards the bow. Chris gets a bit panic at this, but yeah. Right. See you later, guys. Bye. From United Kingdom Talk with Chris Whedon, back to you.
Thank you, George. So we are George and his archery video there. He does worry me with that thing. I just imagine it like, remember the golden shot when the bolt used to fly across the room somewhere. Thank you, George. Alrighty, I mentioned earlier that the old bike, it was so nice to come with bike today. Did you go cycling at all? My mate, another mate of mine, he used to rent a house off me actually, Ben is his name. He cycles 40, 50 mile in a day and more. Seriously, and he built that up over a period of time. Probably the longest I do is about 10 miles there and back. I think, was it about 10? Or maybe a little bit more than that. But I was back last year. I did a couple of trips down to, what's it called now? Virginia Water and back, which is some going. There's a few fairly steep, it's not like Lincolnshire here. There's some very steep hills going up and down. And it's nice. It's nice when you get there. Even nicer if there's somewhere to get a cup of tea. But of course, at the moment, none of those places were open. I don't know if they are now or not. But to go on a long journey like that, and but I was prepared the next time, and I took a flask of tea with me. Do you do any cycling at all? Has any of you got an electric bike? I toyed with that idea. There are some very, very expensive electric bikes out there. I mean, thousands of pounds for an electric bike. Seriously. There's a shop not far from here called Berkshire Cycles, and he does electric bikes. and they really are like 8, 9, 10 grand for a bike. And he sells them all right. I couldn't afford that for a bike, could you? But in a way, people say, well, you don't have to have it in electric mode all the time. And I wouldn't want that anyway, because that's cheap. What's the point in having a bike then for exercise if you're going to just stick it in electric? There's no point, is there? Not really if you're doing it for exercise. And you could say, well, you just switch it when you're having a bit of trouble getting up a hill. But I think I'd fall into a sort of lazy mode, and once you've switched that on and got used to it, you're just going to be in electric mode, and then there's no point in using a bike for exercise, is there really? And if you do much cycling at all, I've got a nice bike here, which is probably about 15 years old now, my bike here. And I've got an old bike at the caravan as well in a shed, which only cost 30 quid. My nephew found that for me, old thing. I've replaced a tyre and I've replaced a tyre on it and something else as well. I can't remember what now. But the tyre at the back, the wall of it, the inner tube was coming through the wall of the tyre. Then it's time to get new tyre then. Actually, the tyre cost 30 quid. And the bike cost 30 quid. That's how cheap it was. But it goes all right, it's all right, that bike. So that's cycling. Tunnels. Where would you build a tunnel to? You can build a tunnel to anywhere you want. Not necessarily a place. Perhaps some fantasy place that you've got in your mind. Where would you build a tunnel to? I'd quite like a tunnel to Disney, Florida. I'd like that. Just come out my house, walk 10 minutes under the tunnel, and there you are. The magic castle is in front of you. Yeah, I'd quite like a tunnel there. I asked this, where would you like a tunnel to? Would you like to do a tunnel to anywhere? They may be getting a new tunnel to Northern Ireland. What a fantastic idea. Why isn't there a tunnel to... You would have thought, with our relationship with Ireland, which has always been very good, isn't it? Right? Why is there not a tunnel to Ireland? Why did the French one happen first? Probably to do with lorries and all that business, I suppose. Economy, isn't it? Tunnel to Ireland. Well, they're talking about a new tunnel to Northern Ireland in the metro. An underwater tunnel between Britain and Northern Ireland dubbed Boris's Burrow. We've had Boris's bikes, Boris buses. Oh, was it him who bought in the bendy buses, or was it him that got rid of them? I can't remember now. Those bendy buses. What a bleeding nightmare they were. The room they took up on the road. Ridiculous. Anyway, an underwater tunnel between Britain and Northern Ireland, dubbed Boris's Burrow, could be approved within the next weeks. So where's the money coming for this? It amazes me how they come up with these great big schemes, what costs billions of pounds. Where's the money come from? This 25-mile tunnel would run from Stranraer in Scotland to Larne in Northern Ireland and could help resolve Brexit trade issues across the UK, the Telegraph is reporting. There have been pressures at the Irish border after the EU began imposing checks on some British goods entering the region under the recently agreed Northern Ireland Protocol. The deal is supposed to honour the Good Friday Agreement and avoid checks between Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland, which is part of the EU, but unionists are angry at being treated differently to the rest of the UK, and the government reportedly hopes that this tunnel will ease those tensions. Now, you probably watched the news when all that business was going on, the whole Brexit thing, and the real sticking point did appear to be Northern Ireland, and I agree, why should Northern Ireland are part of the UK? Why should they be treated differently from the rest of the UK? It's not right, is it? But the problem is, of course, they're still attached to part of the UK, i.e. Southern Ireland. That's the problem. I wouldn't like to be involved in anything like that because I wouldn't know what to do. Because it seems sometimes a decision like that, whatever way you go, you're going to upset the other half. That will always happen, isn't it? So is that a good idea? Doesn't say. Oh, here we go. It's believed the tunnel would cost £10 billion to build. There you go, gang. Anyone want a job? Have you got a shovel? A little shovel out there? Maybe you got an old one for when you was a child and you used to build sand castles on the beach or something like that. Dig away. All these people will descend on this place in Scotland with the little shovels. We're ready, governor. Sod that. Building a tunnel and going underneath there like that. Oh no, I'm not keen on tunnels. Going underwear and all that. Got a text here from Steve Blythe. Hello, Steve. Welcome, Steve. Gosh. Blimey. Hello, Steve. Steve says he's just got in after a 14-hour day at work. Oh, you're lucky to have a job, mate. That don't make it any easier, does it? 14 hours at work. Do you tell yourself at sort of hour 13, I'm lucky to have a job? I bet you don't. And Steve says it's the first one in many months. I used to do a few miles through the local forest on a mountain bike. Back on the bikes there. But now, as you've probably seen, I have upgraded to an enduro motorbike. And it's a proper workout on byways and green lanes without having to pedal. Not been out on that for ages, so we'll ache when Boris allows us back out. Isn't it great being on a bike of some sort? When I love being on my bike. I do go over the forest on my bike, but if it's been raining, you don't want the mud. Oh, it's horrible trying to cycle through mud. That being said, there are blokes and girls over there in all weathers. And they cycle past you, and they've got mud splattered all over their faces and up their legs, and usually on the backs. I mean, they've got mud guards, but the mud tends to come up, doesn't it? Sprays off that back wheel and ends up. You get this line at people. It's like a line, isn't it? Up your back of mud, and all over their faces. It is. Oh, I can't be doing any of that. I'll wait till it's dry and then I'll take my bike over there sometimes. I've always had a bike from a little boy. My first bike was yellow. I had it in Peckham. It's great cycling. Thanks so much. Nice to hear from you there, Steve. Nice to hear from you, sir. Just a reminder, gang, if you're in the chat box and you're trying to send me a message from there, don't. Because I don't go into the chat box. That's for people to talk to each other. Please send us a text there, 07551 259 675, or you can call in 020 8144 3477. If you want to call in, do that quickly because we're about to close the phone line now. Mike in Brighton says, did you know? If you drag two fingers from the top of your iPhone downwards, it will dictate any script on whatever page you're on. Good to know if your eyes are tired. Oh. Oh, do I need to go on something? Let's try an email then. Let's try an email. Let's try this. Google email coming up now. Thank you. Hello? No. Hello? Nothing. Oh, and more crap internet information from you, dear. Look. Hello? No, nothing. It says here, any page, whatever page you're on. Ready? See, you must sit there Googling crap all the time, Mike, and giving me misinformation, dear. Doesn't work. Did you try it? Oh, Mike, love. Back to this story here. Mr. Jack told the Telegraph's what is this now? My strong inclination would be he thinks it should be a tunnel because he and I have had conversations about the weather patterns in the Irish Sea. Or you could have a bridge going over there. No. Oh, the mess. The mess. You just imagine having it, and that and the you'd never stop painting the damn thing, would you? Having a bridge go from Scotland to Ireland, it'd just get rusty all the time. Now, Mike has just texted back again. He says, from the very top of the page, slowly. All right, let's try it then. Let's try it. From the very top of the page, slowly. Right, let's do this. No. Well, Well, oh, Mike. One more story then on the show today, gang. Oh, it's Glenda in Pennsylvania. Hello, Glenda. All right, my darling?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Hello, my love. How lovely to hear your voice, darling.
Well, my last call to you was kind of a little bit crappy, and I got depressed.
Oh, for God's
After
sake, don't be...
I thought I was being a pain.
No, none of your calls are crap, Glenda. No one does crap calls. No one.
So I thought I'd take a break for a little bit, but no, where I would build a tunnel to, I would build a tunnel to the UK, right to the back door of your house. That's where I'd build a tunnel to.
Oh, would you? You wouldn't be able to come through it at the moment because of the virus. You'd have to be ultravioleted before you come through. Oh, you could come in, you'd bring me cakes and biscuits, wouldn't you, and stuff like that?
I'd make them for you. I like to cook and bake.
I know you would. What sort of...
I'm a good cook.
Will you be doing stuff over the Easter period in a few weeks' time? Will you be making stuff for that?
Yes. I might go up to my sister's house. She lives about 3.5 hours away. I'm not quite sure. It depends on if I have the vaccine.
Right.
By then. But if I do go up there, then I probably won't make that much. But if I have to cook a meal for my husband and I and my mom,
right.
Then I'll just make like a ham. I know, dead animal. I'll have a ham with, sometimes I put orange marmalade on top.
Okay, yeah.
And some pineapple juice. It turns out really good. Or there's a glaze that I buy that I bake it in the oven. It's a brown sugar glaze. That's really good too. And I make little stuffing balls and mashed potatoes and gravy and maybe some carrot cake with cream cheese icing or a cheesecake.
Well, it sounds very nice to me what you're doing.
Yeah.
I do like a cheesecake, Glenda.
I make those.
I quite like plain New York cheesecakes, with nothing on top, no berries or anything.
Yeah.
Oh, they're delicious.
Yeah, that's the kind that I make.
But it is, I tell you what, it's very easy to have too much. When you have one large slice and then you think, do you know what, I'll have another slice. I still feel hungry. And you have that other slice and then it's a little bit too much. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and you feel like you could throw up.
Yeah, you do.
You're too full, yeah.
You do. Oh, it sounds absolutely delicious what you do there. Is that what you'd bring me in my tunnel? A nice cheesecake?
Yeah, I'd bring you whatever you wanted.
Oh, aren't you lovely?
Maybe I'd bring you a boyfriend.
There's no one for me in this life, Glenda. There's sadly no one for me in this life. Do you know what I was just telling my mate? Do you know what I imagine now, Glenda? I'm not being rude or anything like that. Sometimes I'm in my bed, right? Well, I seem to be doing this more often now. And to help me go to sleep, right? I actually imagine someone in the bed next to me. Someone I know who's nice. I mean, I don't have no disrespect to you, Glenda. It wouldn't be anyone watching this channel at the moment. I just want to point that out. I just imagine someone nice in the bed with me and then I fall asleep. Do you think there's something wrong with me imagining that?
No, you should get yourself a body pillow. One of those long pillows. That's kind of like somebody laying next to you.
A body pillow? Oh, I've not heard of something like that.
Yeah, they're really long.
I've got a pillow?
Yeah, a body pillow.
I got a pillow?
No. This is like the length of your whole body. It's really long. It's a long pillow.
And is it like quite flexible? Can you sort of contour it?
Yeah, you could put it in between your legs. Like people who have back problems, because a lot of the time you have difficulty getting to sleep, so you can put it in between your legs to kind of like put pressure there to help try to take it off of your back. Yeah, you should look it up on Amazon. You'd be able to find
we'll
one.
look that up on Amazon, a body pillow. I might have a look through my list of people that haven't yet sent me a birthday present, because I do keep a list. Oh yes, Glenda, I do keep a list of people that haven't
Well,
sent
I'm
me a
on that list then.
Yeah, I mean, I've managed to tick off. I've ticked off. I say I've got a question mark next to my mate because he says he's got me some plants, but they've yet to materialise. Bit disappointed, but he did get me a really nice cake, which I completely almost
you and him
eaten
should get
myself.
Back together.
My sister, now she sent me something already, so she's been ticked off. My nephew and his family, they have, and my niece. So, but there's a couple of names here, you know. For example, cousin Helen. I haven't seen anything arrive from her yet, so I could just send her a little nudge, saying, I don't know how I'd do it really. Oh, hello, Helen. I hope you're well. I had a nice birthday. I received this, and this. And that might instigate her into thinking, oh, I haven't sent him a present. And I could finish off the conversation with, I really would like to have received a body pillow as a present, and I'll see if one arrives.
I don't think they're that expensive.
Are they not? Let's have a quick look.
No,
Amazon.
no.
Amazon.
They can't be any more than like maybe $25 here in the States, if that.
Oh, that's not
They're not that
much,
much
is it?
money.
They don't have to be expensive, do they, those ones? Hang on. Body pillow. Let's have a look. People keep telling me to have an Amazon wish list, but I can't do it. Oh, here we are. £16. Hollow fibre.
Oh, okay.
Filled bolster pillow. It's 5 foot long. It's almost like having a person.
They said. Yes, that's what I said.
Oh. I might do this.
You know, I have to tell you a story. You said about having somebody next to you in your bed.
Yes.
Well, I had to put my dog to sleep like 3 weeks ago, and it was horrible. I wasn't expecting it. Like, she had been going downhill, but I was not expecting her to die that day. So, anyway,
Glenda.
like that first couple of days was really hard for me, and I was sleeping, and all of a sudden I woke up, and I saw an older woman standing next to my bed looking at me. She looked like she had been dressed in like 1800 style, early 1900 style clothing.
Right.
And as soon as I saw her, she was gone. And I don't know if she was coming to comfort me, but it was the oddest thing. And then the next day I told my husband about what happened, and he's like, I knew there was something in the bedroom with us last night, because he said, I felt something in the room. He said, I knew there was something there, but I couldn't see anything. So isn't that weird?
In my mind, no. I don't think it was weird. I've had several experiences over the years like that. I believe there is something in this house looking after me, because other people that have been here have experienced it. Not any members of the family. And generally, the people who have experienced it have been here when I've not been here. I have never felt anything here other than warmth and niceness. So I believe there's something looking after me here, but it will never show itself to me because I'm quite comfortable with whoever it is or whatever it is, yeah? But you say that one there, I can tell you the only experiences I've had of people in my house or in my room was as a young... And you'll also tell me in your conversation you do not believe that was a dream, do you?
No, because I'm a vivid dreamer, and I remember my dreams.
Right.
And no, I mean, it was just so weird. It was like the blink of an eye, and then I fell back asleep.
Yes.
And the same thing happened to me shortly after we bought the house, like literally several days after we moved in. I had a man literally in my face, like 2 or 3 inches from my face. I woke up, and there he was, and he was standing looking at me, and I told you about this before, how he had, he was an old man with a long beard, suspenders, a plaid shirt. I can still see him standing there. And then I just thought, okay, well, I chucked it off to just dreaming, because I didn't want to scare myself, but yet I wasn't scared. And I fell back to sleep. Well, then about a month or 2 goes by, and my husband tells me that he had the same experience, and I hadn't even ever told him about mine.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's weird.
Were you afraid or not?
No.
No. So that's good.
Nope.
So, and you believe in that sort of thing, so I think that's why you're not afraid. It's the people who don't believe in anything, and then they have an experience, and it's not good. It's not good. I almost think sometimes if you actually believe in it, then they're thinking, well, yes, he accepts us or she accepts us, therefore everything's fine for them, sort of thing. But the experience I had, similar to yours, was when I was a little boy. And we were living in a masonette in Roehampton. And in my room, I think it happened 3 or 4 times. 3 or 4 times I woke up to see my mother and father still alive. And in a room just across the stairs on the other side of the room, I saw my mother and father holding hands, walk past me, look at me, and walk through the wall. And I saw that 3 or 4 times. They were still alive. And I never, ever mentioned it to them. Never mentioned it to them. I don't know if I've mentioned that to my sister. I must ask her to see if she ever saw anything like that. They were still alive.
That is strange.
They were, and when I say still alive, they weren't about to die or anything. This is when I was a little boy. They went on for 30, 40 years after that, you know. They simply were holding hands and walked through the wall past my bed.
I wonder if it was because they were sleeping and maybe like, you know, sometimes they say that you leave your body when you're sleeping.
Yeah, they do.
I don't know, but maybe they were kind of like traveling together while they were sleeping. Who knows?
Yeah. Well,
That's very weird, though.
They didn't do things apart, not really. I mean, Mum went to Catholic Women's League, and Dad did. No, Dad never didn't belong to any clubs or never went to pubs or they did everything together. Everything. Yeah.
Aww.
Yeah. Well, I'm really sorry about your dog there, Glenda.
Oh, well, yeah, it was nice to talk to you, but I was going to say quickly, I still think that maybe there's a chance for you and Ronnie to get together.
Oh, no, I don't think... We don't fancy each other.
But you're such good friends, though, and they say that's the basis of a relationship, is somebody that you can be, like, super good friends with, and he's your best friend, and so obviously you two get along with one another, so maybe you'd be good company for each other.
Oh, I don't know about that, my dear. I've been on... Do you know I went on a holiday with him once, and I came back early? Oh, it was the rowing, dear. No. And besides, I'd have no money at all. Because he just when he gets money in, it's spent on expensive things and all that, you know. And I'm one of those make-do people, Glenda. I mean, this damn
I am
iPhone
the same
now.
way too.
I've got this iPhone 8, right? I now have to charge this 3 times a day. By 2 o'clock, it'd be telling me it's 10%. And I'd only turn it on at about like 7 o'clock in the morning. And I won't replace that until it goes down to sort of 1 hour between charges. I won't replace that. I don't see the point in upgrading stuff all the time. Whereas he would just something breaks, he replaces it. He has nothing fixed. And in my way, I'd have no money left at all. I tell you what, we'd be living in a much bigger house than this, right? Because he would have made me go and mortgage more and borrow more money. And I know what it would be like. No way. Absolutely no way.
Well, have a good evening, and hello to all of your followers and listeners.
Don't ever think that your calls are boring, because they're not.
All right. Well, I just don't want to get annoying to you. That's all.
You won't. Bye-bye, Glenda.
Okay. All right.
Cheerio, Glenda. Bye-bye.
Have a good evening.
You too,
Thanks.
my darling.
Bye-bye.
Glenda in Pennsylvania. How lovely to hear her there. Lines are now closed, boys and girls. You won't be able to call now. Okay, if you try and call now, you will get an answer phone, just to let you know. That thing with Ronnie, yeah, I did go out with him years ago, about, about 30 years ago. I went out with him for about a year. But I'm afraid I wasn't a one-to-one person. I kept mucking around behind his back. Yeah, that was me, unfortunately. So that's just how it was. And for ages, actually, I'd kept the candle going for him. I thought I'll get another chance. And I never did. But then a period of time passes and you don't want that anymore anyway. And kind of that's where we both are, actually. He's just finished, actually, with his other half. He said, it's a shame. I was shocked at that. I thought they'd be together forever. 14 years they were together. They're still in the same house at the moment. But I think that's going to be very hard on him when the other one moves out. Because he's someone that needs someone to be living with him. He says he doesn't, but I don't believe it. I think he needs to be with someone, you know? Whereas I'm kind of okay on my own. Like I say, I do imagine someone sometimes next to me in the bed and sends me off to sleep. We're going to finish very shortly. Pete says, any chance of George's videos as a regular feature on your show? Well, you never know. Things could happen, couldn't they? George says, thank you for playing the video there. Mike in Brighton, I've read that one there. And I think we're done there. So thanks very much to everyone who called in today. Thank you those of you that have taken the time and the trouble to like the programme. That's the little thumbs up thing at the bottom of the screen. If you could hit that if you want to, or if you don't want to, that's fine as well. Okay, hello to... Mark Bowles has just texted in there. Hello, Mark. Now, there you go, Glenda. Mark Bowles. Now, there's someone I could get on with. I know I would never row with Mark, because if I open my mouth, it'd just smack me in the mouth. And that would be okay. You know, I'll be put in my place. Perhaps that's what I need. I don't know. Good evening to Mark. Just coming in right at the end of the show there. Oh, my God, it's 10:10, dear. I haven't had my crisps yet. I've got crisps tonight for dinner. Guess what they are? Honey roast crisps from Marks and Spencer. Oh, actually, I haven't on to them for tomorrow. Oh, now that I've mentioned them, I want them. I could hold on to them tomorrow because I've got my radio show tomorrow and then I've got to go into London to the Royal Free just for a check on my throat. Although it's much better now, I must say. I'm convinced it's the acid reflux because if that keeps happening, it can make it feel like there's something in your throat. That's what the doctor told me last time. That's exactly what was happening there. Anyway, going to go now. Thanks very much for joining us. If you came in at the end of the show, can I just show, because I'm very proud of what I've got now. I'm very proud of this. Can I just show you this, Mark, before I go? I've got a globe now. Check this out. Look at that. Isn't that fantastic? That's my new globe. I love it, dear. I'm very, very pleased with that. I'm absolutely ecstatic over that. There you go. Who's got one of those? Answer, no one. Thanks for joining us. Tomorrow morning, I'll be doing my radio show at 9 o'clock. If you've not joined us before, then feel free. It's great fun. It's great fun. Play some music. Have a little bit of a chat. I try and make it as amusing as possible. You can send messages to me if you want to. reachonair.com if you're listening on a computer. If you've got a smart speaker, you can listen on there, okay? If you've got a Google Mini thing or an iPhone, just ask the ladies, play Reach on Air, you know. If you've got an Alexa, which I've probably just set up, sorry. If you've got an Amazon device, you have to go into the app and enable the Reach on Air app, then close it, and then when you want it to play, you just say, Amazon, play Reach on Air. Say it clearly, otherwise you'll get Reach S Club 7 or Reach to the Stars, which are songs, okay? Say clearly, Amazon, or whatever word you use, play Reach on Air, and it will play it for you tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. I don't know who's on Reach tonight. It might be Henry Churchill, actually, or is he finished now? Let's have a look. You've got Alan Ross on there tonight. He's really good. Lovely nighttime voice he's got. Yeah, it's Henry Churchill at the moment. He's a real character. He's been on there for years. He's been on there ever since they started years ago. Who else is on there tonight? Let's have a quick look. I would imagine he's on till 11 then, Henry, I would think. There's Josh Hornsey's done 3 shows today, hasn't he? Blimey. He's on again at 11. He's been on 3 times a day. And then tonight, yeah, there he is. Alan Ross. We're with you at 12 midnight tonight. That's at reachonair.com. Thanks very much for joining us. Another chat show for you on Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. If you're usually with us Saturday morning, there won't be a show this Saturday morning for you because they're putting the air conditioning thing in my bedroom, okay? And they're coming at 9:30, so I won't be able to do a show for you on Saturday morning. But we will be here on Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. Thanks for watching and listening. Thanks for Gary Ross's £5 tip today. Thank you, Gary. Thanks to those of you that liked the show. And enjoy the rest of your Monday night. See you tomorrow morning at 9. Bye-bye now.